Hey guys, so I'm here with another Unity tutorial, and we're going to start off a new series, which is one of our longer series, our shortest series, but with longer episodes. And it's going to be creating a game like One More Line. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so let's start by creating a empty 2D project, which I've already done. So we just studio file, new project, make sure it's 2D, and we want it to be basic, empty, so don't import anything. Well, you can. So what we need to import is, I think just for now what we're going to want to import is, actually never mind, we don't need to import anything. So starters on our first scene, we're just going to create a few new folders as usual. So we're just gonna have scenes. Fire out, can't spell scenes. You can just do scripts and then just assets. And inside the assets, we're just gonna create a new script for just player. And then we're going to open up our Photoshop or any image editing project that you have. Product. I am so sorry. Okay, so 64 by 64. And we're going to create a new layer. And it's just going to be a very basic drawing like the one that they have. It should be black. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a circle. We'll just say about 45 pixels. We'll do 60 pixels, and we'll fill it with nothing, but we'll have our stroke as white, and we'll make stroke to be just 9 point for now. Actually 8 point. And then we'll move it to the center, which is, we'll just say roughly about there for now. And to make it like the one that they have, we're going to rasterize. We're going to actually go to our circle, sorry. We're going to set stroke to be nothing as well. We're going to open this up and we're going to add a stroke here, and it's going to be an 8 pixel stroke, which is going to be white, and instead of position outside, we just do position on the inside. Okay, and then we're going to rasterize the layer. We're going to cut in the middle of it, so if that's 60, we're going to start at 30, so 31 pixels down, and we're just going to delete that, and then we're going to move it down just so it's roughly in the center. We're going to duplicate this layer and make it smaller. And we're just going to move that into the center like that. So that's roughly like what their little, I guess you could call it a ship, looks like in the game. So we're just going to delete the background layer, and then we'll just delete the black on the inside. So magic wand tool, and just delete black. Up here, rasterize layer style, and then select your black, and then you can just delete it like so. Okay, if that annoys you, which annoys me a little bit, we're just going to go with white pencil over the top, and we're going to set it to white, just like that. And then we can zoom out and you'll see that we have our ship. Okay, so now we're going to save it. To one more line, wherever it is. One more line. 2 secs. We're going to save in assets, player, and then we're just going to call it ship, and it needs to be a PNG. Okay, and as usual, once it saves, we're just going to come over and we're going to change bilinear to point. So just now, if we drag it onto the scene, just apply, we're going to see it like that. I should probably have said this at the start, it's going to be a computer version of one more line, and then maybe we can port it to mobile. So it's going to be point, we're going to make it 1024 and true color. And then for pixels to unit, we're just going to make it 50, so it makes it a bit bigger, maybe 75 actually. And then for our main camera, we're just going to set the background to black. And then we're going to move the ship down just a tad. So we're just going to set X to that and Y to that, and then Y is going to be, we're going to move the ship under the main camera, I believe, and then we're going to move the ship to be -1, 2, 3. Okay, the ship's going to be -3. We're going to create inside the ship, we're going to press Alt Shift N, we're going to create 3 empty game objects, and these are going to be trails. I'm going to do it once more. I'm going to move these 3 under here, call this one trail, and this will be called trail 1. Sorry, trails. This one will be called trail 1. This one will be called trail 2. And this one will be called trail 3. We're going to actually move the ship out, sorry, we're going to move the main camera under ship. And then for the trails, which should be at 0, 0, if you go into our scene and we select this, we can see where they are. So trail 1, we want it to be at negative point, just say 3. I'm going to do that for all of them, so just negative 0.3. Trail 1 is going to be at 0.3. And then trail 3 will be at negative 0.3. All of them are going to get a line renderer, I believe, for now. And then we're going to go to assets, and we're going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it materials. I'm going to create a new folder in that called player, and we're going to create 3 materials. So material, I'm just going to call it 1, 2, 3. And so for now, this one is going to be, we'll just say green. Actually, we'll say yellow. Yellow. This one can be blue. So just like that. And then this one can be a pink. Just like that, I believe. Yep. And so trail 1, I'm just going to drag whatever, so we'll just drag the pink one. Trail 2, we'll just drag the yellow one. And then trail 3, we'll just drag the blue one. Sorry, silly me. I meant for the line renderers to be a trail renderer, sorry. And then just gonna add the material again to all of them. So trail 1 will be our pink, trail 2 will be our yellow, and then trail 3 will be our blue. Now we're just going to want to play with these settings. So for these ones, rendering mode, so for the standard, we just want it to be an unlit color pretty much. Our trails, we want, well, if we have a look, so if we press play, we can have a look at what it looks like. So we go to our ship, we just move, you can see right now what it's like. So we can just have a quick play around with these. We can say like start width, we can just try a 0.1 to start with, and end width to be 0.1. So if we move it around, you can see what it looks like now, like such. So we'll just set it again. 0.1 was about good for us. Sorry, I've just set the time to 20. After a bit of review, I might change these to 0.3 for each of them. Just have a look. That's just a bit big, so we'll change them again to probably 0.2. Yeah, 0.2 looks much better. Okay. So, now that we've got that in place, we will want to start, we'll create just a script to start off with, which won't really do anything. And we'll just call it player. So it's our player script. And our ship will just get our player script. Alright, we'll come back to the player script in a second. We're going to create a new 64 by 64. And we'll just color it black for now, the background. Create a new layer, and we'll create our circle again, which will be 60 by 60. We want no fill, and we want the stroke to be that. We'll have 8 point again. We'll move it to the center roughly. And we'll just rasterize the layer. We'll come down to about 28, and then from there we'll come down to 4 more, I believe. Yep. And then we'll just delete the middle like such, and then that gives us one of our like circles to spin on, if I believe that is correct. And then we'll just create a new circle on the inside, which is going to be 10 pixels. And then we're going to rasterize that. And for the two of them, I'll just put it in the middle, like that. Okay, so that's going to just be our first little circle that we spin on. So we'll save it, PNG in obstacles, and it will just be OB1. Okay, so for instance, we don't really want to generate anything right now, but we're just going to change this to 75. I'll change it to point and true color, and we'll just put it there. So in here we're going to create a new folder called prefabs. We'll just call this one obstacle 1. And we'll just drag it into prefabs. Then for obstacle 1 we want to give it a collider. So just a circle collider 2D. And as you see, it's pretty much matched what we need. And we're going to do the same with our ship. We're going to press our ship. We're going to move the main camera out just for a quick second. We're going to add a circle collider. And then our circle collider, we want it to move down a bit. So the offset on the Y will just be like that. and then we'll just change our radius down a touch. And move the offset up a little bit. Okay, so that's going to be our ship. We're going to drag our ship into the prefabs. We'll just add the main camera back. So it's into our prefabs, and that's all good. Apply and apply. So that's that. We're going to go back to our scripts. We're going to open it up. Alrighty, so we're going to remove the comments. And we're going to start with a few variables. So we need a public float of speed. That's actually really it for now. So in the update, what we're going to do is we're going to do transform dot position is equal to vector2 dot up, and it's going to be times speed times time dot delta time. So if we go to our ship, our player, we're just going to set speed to 2. I'm just going to save the scene quickly, and we're going to save it as main. And we'll just have a look quickly. Sorry, it's been a while, so we're just going to comment up this line just for a second. And what we're going to do is going to do transform dot translate vector2 dot up times speed times time dot delta time. Okay, so come back, and we're just going to set speed to about 5, I reckon. Press play, and you'll see it works. Okay, speed can be adjusted a bit, I reckon. Just so we can get a representation of how fast we're moving, I'm just going to create a few of these obstacles. And we're going to make speed on the ship about, we'll just say about 8 to start with. Yep. Alrighty, that's cool. Cool. And if an object gets in our way, nothing happens at the moment, which we can fix. Alright, so the way we're going to fix that is just on the ship. We're going to just add a rigid body, and we're going to set gravity scale over here to be 0. Okay, so if we press play, we crash into it, and then we'll come back and add in collision detection soon. So just move that back in line, roughly. Alrighty, so let's get our next part started of generating our obstacles. So, okay. In our scripts, we're going to create a new C# script, and it's going to be obstacle manager. Alrighty, so let's open that up. Alrighty. So we're going to need a public transform player. And so we're just going to check every time our player roughly has moved forwards. We'll just say we'll have a float for the distance, so we'll just say public float distance, and then we're going to private vector2 3 position, last position. And we're just going to start with our last position being equal to that needs to be a lowercase p, sorry, being our players dot transform dot position, and then we're going to have an update. So we'll just say if vector2 dot distance between actually vector 3 dot distance between our last position and our player dot transform dot position is greater than our distance, like so that'll be our max distance that we're allowed. And then we're going to do something here, which is going to be generating, so we'll say generate like that. So we'll have a void generate, and up here we're just going to have a public transform, and it's going to be an array of obstacles, so it's just going to choose a random obstacle every time. So we're going to do a mathf dot a random dot range between 0 and our obstacles dot length, and then we're going to do obstacles. This will be int I is equal to that. Then we're going to do obstacles I will be out. We'll get to that in a sec. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a new random, so it's going to be int j is equal to random dot range between 0 and 3. So we're going to have a, let's make that 0 and 2. And then we're going to have a switch method, which I'll explain this all in a second. So switch j, and it's going to be case 0 break. Let's just press tab on these. Case 1. I like having making it neat. Break. And then case 2, and break. And so what we're going to do is we're just, for now, we're going to have our obstacles being either, so it's either going to be like -1, 0, sorry, so -1. We could probably generate a random value for this, a -3, -2, I believe. I'll just get obstacles up and have a look quickly. Okay, so it's going to do int k is equal to random dot range. Sorry, make that float. K is equal to random dot range between -3.0f and -1.0f. We're just going to copy that just a few times. So that's going to be L, and that's going to be M. And then we're going to instantiate a obstacles I at vector 2, vector 3, vector 2, and it's going to be at k, and then we're going to have player dot transform dot position dot y plus 5, and that's what we're going to have. L, and then this one will just be M. And then for this is just going to be -1, between -1 and 1. This one's going to be between 1 and 3. Okay, let's see if this works quickly. So we're going to create a new empty game object, and we're going to add our script of obstacle manager to it. Up here we're just going to call this obstacle manager. We're going to drag ship to our player, and our distance is going to be 5, just to start off with. We're going to have 1 of our size, and it's going to be that. Sorry, our prefab 1 of that. And then let's have a look at this quickly. Yeah, sorry. And then we're just going to do quaternion dot identity. So just copy that and paste that like that. Okay, so just change these to vector 3s as well, and we'll just add in 0 for all of them. Sorry, wrong spot. I'm so out of my game lately, I'm sorry. So 0, 0, 0, and it needs to be new vector 3. And then the final thing, what we want to do once we do generate is last position is equal to player.transform.position. So let's press play. Generates. Yeah. So it works how we want it to work. And it's generating them in random positions. We've just got to fix the trail on the player. So let's change those to 0.2, sorry. And here we go. So we're getting randomly generated balls, whatever you want to call them, obstacles. And so far so good. Alrighty. Alrighty, so just quickly, just for fun for the last few minutes of this episode, we're just going to generate a random color. So we're just going to say color C is equal to new color, and it's going to just be a random dot range between 0.0 and 1.0. And so we're just going to copy that twice as well. And that should work. And we're just going to do transform T is equal to that. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to do transform T equals null. Here we're just going to do T is equal to that, T is equal to that, and T is equal to that. And then under here we're going to do T dot Alright, so just quickly we're going to add F's here for all of these. We're just going to do as transform. And then we're just going to do T dot get component, and we're just going to say renderer. We're going to do dot material dot color is equal to C. Okay, so if we press play, have a look, you see it's just going to generate random colors for now. And you'll note in the actual one more line game, what happens is let's just say it's an index. We'll count, so 1, 2, 3, and then it goes back to the start of 1, 2, 3. And so every time you tap and you attach your ship to an object, whatever your index is currently, so let's say it was 2, so it's the middle one, and we tap and it was to click that one, 2 would become that color. And then so the index would move up to, let's just say 3, so it's the pink one, and then we decide to tap now, our third one would become that, so on and so forth. Okay. Alrighty, that's been this episode. Next episode we'll actually start creating a repeating background, and we'll have the 2 walls that come up on the side, and then we'll also include the physics for when you tap to start spinning your object around. We'll start generating different sizes of these, so obstacles, and then we'll have a score counter in this one. I'll see you guys next time. I've been Storm.